Man, everything's going pretty crazy with the virus right now. I mean, people are dying, countries are shutting down, and what am I doing about it? Do I have the virus? What are the symptoms? Are one of the symptoms making a lot of facial expressions that match up your thoughts? Probably not. I mean, seriously, anything could go wrong. But I could do something about it. Wait, what? Steve Harvey has a morning show? Yeah, I'm gonna be talking about this. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Being Inside All Day, like I've been doing for the past few years. I think I chose the absolute worst time to move back to Los Angeles, with everything that's going on right now. What's funny is that Gus Johnson actually made a video. He made two videos on Steve Harvey before, and Danny Gonzalez also made a video on a weird radio show that he's been listening to. So, have I been stealing their video ideas? Yes. No, actually, it was just a complete coincidence. I do watch a lot of their content. It's mainly because I started listening to this at work. His radio show, as you guys have probably already guessed by either the title or the thumbnail, it's somewhere in either of those two. Basically, he has a morning show, and it's really weird, and I just wanted to talk about it. So here's me doing that. I've had this idea for maybe a few weeks or so, mainly because I submitted my letter in one of their letter reading segments, but I'll get to that in a bit. So, Steve Harvey in the Morning, it is a radio show. They have different segments like the news, where they talk about mainly just the virus. They also have prank calls. They also have this segment called the Strawberry Letter, which is basically an advice column where they just read letters and give whoever the writer is some advice. Sorry, I'm not sick. The host of the Strawberry Letter is Shirley Strawberry, and Steve Harvey's nephew hosts the prank call segment. But anyway, before we actually get into that, I just wanted to say that I worked with the Thirst Project Club here in Downey, California. I worked with them, and I made a video with them, basically just promoting World Water Day. That was Sunday, March 22nd. We were basically under lockdown, so the walk itself was canceled. You know, it was a walk. We had to walk for water, and so that was canceled. But I did make a video, so here's that video. Please enjoy.
A jerry can, when filled up with water, can weigh up to 40 pounds.
Up to 45 pounds.
45 pounds.
45 pounds.
A lot of women and children have to carry this every single day.
See, every day, millions of women and children in developing countries walk nearly 4 miles with these cans on their shoulders.
People in developing countries do not have access to clean, safe drinking water.
Water is already at its crisis stage. Thousands of our own citizens die from lack of clean water each day.
But we take that burden for them to ensure that they won't have to travel for clean water.
My why for water is...
Why am I doing this?
Having access to clean water is a human right.
We want to be the ones to help those in need.
663 million people.
I want to be able to advocate for them.
I don't want women and children to have to walk 3.75 miles.
Water is one of the basic necessities in life.
Because climate change is the most important issue.
Make the change and fight.
We can change this.
So I am more than happy to be that person for someone else.
It all starts with you.
Give water, give life.
Give water, give life.
Give water, give life.
Oh wow, Johnny, that was a cool video, Johnny. Why do I sound like Kermit the Frog? Let's just get straight into Steve Harvey's weird show. So the subject of this letter, he is a nice guy. How long should I wait?
Dear Steve and Shirley, I'm a 36-year-old divorced mother of 2 beautiful daughters. 3.5 years ago, I was a victim of domestic violence and I left my husband. I met a man at a party. We started going out and conversing frequently. We both agreed that neither of us was ready for a major relationship. He is also very sensitive and understanding about my past and me being a single mother. My feelings have changed and I want this man in my life. I know he cares for me, just not in the same way. He has not met my children because I am unsure where this is going. I have discussed my feelings with him and he responds with the same old, I care about you and I don't want to lose you speech. So how long should I wait?
This lady right here then left a lot out of this letter and she put it in the wrong order, which now creates the dilemma she in.
Okay.
I'll show you what I mean right after this.
She's leaving out a bunch of information, according to Steve Harvey. But she's making her own problems, pretty much.
Never, ever tell a man in the beginning that you are not ready or available for a heavy relationship. Because all that does is signal to a man, oh, I'm finna just kick it with her. And I ain't got to have no strings, because guess what? That ain't what I'm looking for either. But you didn't write this in the letter right away. Y'all started kicking it casually, see? Right after you decided you didn't want a major relationship, y'all started kicking it casually. Friends, we've been having sex.
Okay, she didn't say that in the letter at all. So I don't see how you could have come up with that conclusion. Like, I just feel like if she didn't write that in the letter explicitly in the first place, that isn't the problem that she's trying to ask for, so she's not getting the help with the problem that she's dealing with. Imagine you're just listening to the radio and you submitted a letter and you're just like, that is not at all what I wanted help with, but okay, thanks Steve for making me look like a prick on live radio. But I don't get why he's just grouping a lot of men together. Never tell a man you aren't ready for a relationship, because then that's just gonna make him think that it's like just a friends with benefits type of thing. Never have I ever been in that situation where I thought, oh, they just want to be friends. They just want to be someone that I could hang out with probably for a lot longer than if we were in a relationship and then inevitably break up. I'd much rather have a friendship with someone than a broken relationship. I don't get why Steve thinks whenever a guy hears that a woman is just saying, hey, I'm not looking for anything serious, their first thought is, okay, so then I can just use her for sex. Steve, I'm pretty sure those are just your own thoughts.
He's also very sensitive and understanding about my past. Yeah, but he's most sensitive to something. See, he's sensitive about your past. You think it stopped there? He also sensitive to what he want or what somebody, Mr. Sensitive. See, ladies, you can't do like men do. I keep telling y'all can't do test drives. That ain't how y'all wired or built. Y'all emotions gonna get in this thing. Ours don't have to.
It's very funny how this implies that every guy is mainly just looking for sex from every girl. In Gus Johnson's video, he talks a little bit more about this in depth, but I just wanted to say that basically just the weird thoughts that men can't have female friends is very prevalent in this part. I honestly think that he just can't have female friends because I'm pretty sure it's Steve that's always trying to have sex with his female friends, while his female friends are like, no, I'm trying to actually be friends with you. But Steve is like, I can't turn off my horny, I must have the sex, I must do the nut.
Now your test drive done just turned into you getting drove now. See, remember that test drive you went on with him? Now you the one getting drove now.
What does that mean? Why overgeneralize women like that? It's just something he does often. Like, he just makes her the enemy in this situation, while also making all the other women enemies as well. Basically by saying, you are doing this, but it's because it's a woman thing. Not only is it making her look bad, it's also making every woman look bad. Which, believe it or not, there's a majority of women. There's some women that do this and that, and maybe they can be overgeneralized. But, I mean, if we could say not all men, we could also say not all women in this situation.
I care about you and don't want to lose you speech. You know what that means? Listen to me, lady. That care about you, but I don't want to lose you speech. That's because he got options. He trying to weigh them out.
Okay, so Steve is basically saying that guys can't legitimately care for a friend. Even if it's a guy friend, they just can't legitimately care for them. Why is Steve so against being friends with women? It can happen. Men can respect a woman's space.
But is he willing to give up the other woman?
She never said that there was another woman. This is what I mean. This doesn't help her specific situation because he's adding a bunch of information that was not explicitly or even hinted at in the letter.
Why you done stop passing out the cookie and why you ain't seeing him? When do men not go after the cookie?
What about gay people, asexuals like myself, men who just really enjoy women for their personality and their talents and their interests rather than just sex? So basically kind of the opposite of Steve Harvey.
You went that far back?
I work with a crazy man.
All right, so here's another letter. Let's just move on from that train wreck of a letter.
Subject: tomboy issues. I cannot be with one man. Dear Steve and Shirley, I grew up a complete tomboy. My problem is that I grew up around a lot of boys. I just can't seem to be with one man. I've been with the love of my life for 12 years. We are high school sweethearts. For most of the time we've been together, I've been cheating with another man. It seems to only be for sex. Don't get me wrong. My man is great in bed. It's just that I've been having sex with him since I was 14, and I like to have sex with other people. All of the sex has been protected since I had my twins 7 years ago because I really don't know if they are my main man's kids or not. What? Okay, you're doing way too much. And your lifestyle is just loose, is just crazy. I mean, you can call it being a tomboy if you want to, but you're just sleeping around with a lot of different dudes, and that's not a tomboy. A tomboy is a girl who likes sports. She does, things that normally are set aside for boys. You're not a tomboy. You're something else, okay?
Well, okay. That's pretty accurate.
You need some help to calm your sex drive, your libido down. You sound like a sex addict. I'll just say it like that. I'll give you the clinical term. You sound like a sex addict, and you need to work on that.
This is the thing. A lot of the times, Shirley Strawberry is kind of the voice of reason, and she's right with this. Many people do have to deal with these issues. They have to deal with porn addiction. They have to deal with sex addiction. These are real things that are hurting people, and I've met a lot of people, and I've known a lot of people, and I hold a lot of people dear to my heart who are dealing with this kind of stuff. It really does tear apart relationships, whether it be just friends, family, or loved ones.
I'm not really sure if I could say this on the radio, but I think I can.
I don't exactly like that preface.
What you need to do, little girl, is quit hoeing around.
Okay, say it.
I like that. The word we're using, because I think it's allowable, is hoeing. You need to quit hoeing around. Now, you can call it clinical, Shirley, because you've got to be that way. But that's all this is. Yeah. Why are we trying to dress this up?
All right, well, like I said, this is a real problem that people deal with. It's like calling someone with an addiction that's trying to reach out for help a junkie. I can't. What if they're ashamed? What if they're trying to get better actively? This poor lady is reaching out for serious advice with a serious problem, and all Steve is doing is just calling her a hoe.
And I've been having sex with him since I was 14. What?
Yeah.
What? Sit down somewhere. So unless you don't want to quit hoeing around, I ain't got nothing for you. What? This is crazy. I'll be back. You want some more? I got it too. Hoeing around is what's going on here, and you need to stop. You already got twins, and you don't know who the baby daddy is.
Is he slut shaming? Because this is the thing. I'm very supportive. If you want to have sex with whoever you want, be safe, and if you're in a relationship, be open about it. There should never be any lies in a relationship ever. That's my stance on it. I don't slut shame. So I don't know, it's just strange to see that he's very openly slut shaming her when she's not a slut per se. I feel like a slut's different because it's like you're just having sex just to have sex. If you're having sex to just deal with your libido, that's fine. But the fact that she has an addiction to it, it's something very serious. And he's just kind of harassing her in that sense of just, it's all your fault. You shouldn't be, it's just so... Why does it gotta be so rude? Is that just me? Am I just a fucking pussy? Because I feel like I am.
I'm having problems with my wife.
Alright, so here's the last letter, because I don't think I could really handle this anymore.
Hello there, Steve and Shirley. I'm a 24-year-old lady who has changed my life around, but I have a slight issue. I attend church every week, and I love it. But at times, it gets uncomfortable because there is a man that attends church regularly who just won't stop staring at me. I didn't want to just go up to the man and ask him if he would please stop staring, because realistically, that would make me look like I'm guilty of wanting him. I know that he and his wife have been going through problems in their marriage that only God can fix. Do I tell his wife? Do I take it to my bishop so he can set him down? Okay, simple to me. Can't you just ignore him?
Yeah, why don't you just let him sexually harass you? Make you feel uncomfortable, which is something that nobody should ever go through.
As to setting it off up in the church, please, because somebody's staring at you? No, ma'am, don't do that. If you do that, the pastor will probably be the one sitting you down.
Wait, he would be punishing her for reaching out for sexual harassment? I mean, he's just staring. Don't get me wrong, but if it makes her uncomfortable, she has every reason to reach out.
It gets a little uncomfortable because there's a man that attends a church regularly who just won't stop staring at me. What makes you think because you in church you finna escape a man staring at you? Men, wherever they are, and men want what they want wherever they are. You ain't finna go to church and get excluded from that.
Steve Harvey's kryptonite phrase is not all men. I think he probably hates that so much because he's like, God dang, it's all men, every man, He's just an overgeneralizer. He's a man of extremes.
Okay, y'all talking.
Yes,
Yeah,
like, how you know all this?
See, he's staring at you, but y'all talking. Yeah. See, only way you gonna know that this man got problems in his marriage, major problems in his marriage, y'all talking.
Okay, so this is kind of what I mean. A lot of these letters have him assuming a lot of things about the writer that is never said explicitly in the goddamn letter. He has no respect for them in that sense, or if not him, just the producers of the goddamn show, because these people are writing to them for help, and all he does is just bash them down and feel like shit. And at this point, I'm surprised that people are still writing in. If they hear how much he hates whoever writes in and is called, they're the part of the problem, is that kind of the whole thing, is just to be called out. Nobody's gonna end up writing in if that's it, if that's all you're doing.
Y'all talking. And we play on the nurturing aspect of a woman, and we know that about you.
So basically what you're saying is that the only reason men have affairs is because women let them? What kind of cokehead are you, Steve? Steve, what are you smoking? Can I please have some?
I work with a crazy man.
Something else I wanted to bring up about this whole thing in my conclusion. I actually wrote him a letter. I think I talked about this early in the video. So let me give you guys some background info. So technically this is also kind of an announcement, but also not really. But I'm writing a new novel called Okanoko. But anyway, I don't want to really talk about it too much right now. Basically, it's a romantic drama about an author that's dealing with a breakup in a futuristic city. I wanted to write the letter through his point of view because I don't have any relationship problems really. So in this scenario, the man, the writer, breaks up with his fiancée for about 8 years. And so he ends up going on a date with one of his coworkers, except the coworker's a guy. He's basically just kind of doing this just to test out the waters. It was a scene ripped directly from the book. And here is the letter I submitted. I will also have it split screened with the letter that they read out, and you can tell that they rewrote the entire goddamn letter. So here's just a comparison of those two. You guys tell me what you think.
Subject, he wants to tell my fiance about us. Dear Stephen Shirley, I have a problem that I hope you can help me sort out because I'm really confused. I have had a fiance for 8 years. She and I have been together since college, and we always planned to get married. We have been living like a married couple for years. In December of last year, someone at my job got my attention, and I have a couple of issues with it. First off, I'm not a cheater. And then there's the issue with the person being a male. It all started when he and I went to lunch together one day, and we talked about how much we have in common. He has a longtime girlfriend, so this was all new to him too. We hung out together for about a month, and after that, I noticed that he was getting clingy and jealous of my fiancé. I told him that I was only trying to get to know him and see if I had any attraction to men. I'm glad nothing happened between us, so I could break it off with him with a clean conscience. When I told him there would be no more dates, he did not take it well. He told me that he had contemplating leaving his girlfriend for me, so of course he's mad at me for leading him on. I never once told him that I would break off my engagement for him. He wants to tell my fiancé about the time he spent with me, but that's nothing but a couple of lunches here and there and us meeting up to shop together. There's nothing to tell, but it's still stressing me out. I can't face either one of them because I never wanted to hurt anyone. Should I tell my fiancé that this guy came on to me, or should I be honest that it was a mutual friendship? I think you're what's called bi-curious.
I don't know none of these terms Shirley be using. You attracted to men, dog.
So this is kind of what the whole conclusion of this video is about. Some people might be asking for genuine advice. They have real problems that they're dealing with. They would rewrite that entire letter, and then Steve would have to talk about, he would basically be rambling about some other problem that he made up just by reading the subtext of the letter that the person didn't even write. I get that it's supposed to make it more dramatic or whatnot. It's really dumb. But it's just so strange that he antagonizes the writer as well. People are asking for genuine advice, and all you gotta do is just slut shame them. Just make them feel like they're just making up problems in their heads. It's just to make them feel like they can't reach out, and to overgeneralize men for being these sex-obsessed animals. I mean, it's good radio, I guess, but just kind of scummy. Besides, I really don't think Steve Harvey should be giving relationship advice after having 3 breakups. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the Steve Harvey Morning Show, and take a listen if you are in the LA area. I'm not sure how it works. You guys should download the iHeartRadio app. That is the first and last time I will ever say that sentence. Now join me next time where I host my own radio show from the little sleepy town of Night Vale. Good night, Night Vale. Good night. Thank you, Pedro Vincente, Eleazar, Marilyn Bird, The Malachi, Belin Short, Sefex, Just Ranting Away, Hao Hua Lu, Insomnia Poltergeist, and 300 Pizza for subscribing, and I really hope you guys stay safe. Wash your hands for 20 seconds. Use hand sanitizer. Stay 6 feet away from each other.